In the video, the conversation begins with the locutor 1 noting that whenever they eat something sweet or high in sugar, their continuous glucose monitor shows a noticeable spike in their blood glucose levels. This person is concerned and asks whether such a spike is a sign that something bad is happening inside their body. The second locutor, who appears to have a more in-depth understanding of the topic, confirms that yes, in a way, glucose spikes can indeed indicate that something undesirable may be occurring. To provide a clearer picture, they take a step back and explaining the types of foods that directly impact blood sugar levels. The point although there are many different categories of foods, there are two main groups that most significantly affect glucose levels: starch and sugars. Under the category of starch, they include bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, and oats. As for sugar, these groups include anything sweet like apple pie or ice cream, and juices such as orange juice, or sweets and desserts in general. The key point is that both starches and sugars are primarily composed of glucose molecules. When these foods are consumed, the body digests them and breaks them down into individual glucose molecules. These molecules are then absorbed into the bloodstream, which causes a rise in blood glucose. The spike that appears on the glucose monitor, the speaker emphasizes that not all glucose spikes are dangerous. Experience spikes occasionally is not necessarily harmful, and it can be a normal part of the body's response to food. However, the problem arises when these spikes are very frequent or especially large, which is something many people experience, even if they do not have the diabetes. They go on to explain that frequent or large glucose spikes can have severe long-term consequences, even in otherwise healthy individuals. There are three main biological processes triggered by repeat glucose spikes. The one is chronic fatigue of the mitochondria. The mitochondria are the energy-producing components of our cells. When the body experiences frequent glucose spikes, the mitochondria are placed under constant stress to process the influx of energy. Over time, this can lead to mitochondria fatigue, which manifests as persistent tiredness or a general lack of energy. The second is again through glycation. Glycation is a chemical reaction in which excess glucose in the bloodstream binds to proteins and other molecules in the body. This binding alters the function and structure of those molecules and accelerates the aging process. Glycation can damage tissues, promote inflammation, and lead to the degeneration of cells, contributing to various age-related diseases. The 3 point is insulin release. When glucose levels rise, the pancreas responds by releasing insulin, a hormone that helps transport glucose into cells to be used for energy or stored for later use. However, frequent spikes mean the pancreas must produce insulin constantly. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, where cells become less responsive to insulin. This condition is a major risk factor for type 2 diabetes, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. At the end, the second locutor concludes by stating that these three mechanisms, mitochondrial fatigue, glycation, which promotes aging, and excessive insulin release, are the foundation of the negative effects caused by frequent or high glucose spikes. Although the spikes offers to go into a further detail about these mechanisms, the main takeaway is that managing glucose levels is important not only for people with diabetes but for everyone, as a blood sugar regulation plays a vital role in a long-term healthy energy levels and the aging process.